So the title of this video is, what is the one major strategy and approach you can use to influence your player at a high level, to get them on board in a way that they would absolutely die for you as a coach and die for the cause and die for their teammates. Now, we all love Any Given Sunday, and the speech that Al Pacino gave, cheapest, I don't think it's possible to recreate that very easily. So it's great to have a high level of emotional intelligence and to be a transcendental leader where you just surpass everything with your power and your strength and your emotion and your words. Now, that can only happen when you have a true connection with your athlete, where they want to really die for you because they believe in what you're about. So the secret I want to give you today is the secret to connecting with your athlete in such a way that you can achieve this collectively as a team eventually. So what is the secret? I mean, with this rocket science that I'm proposing to you. Well, actually, it's not rocket science. What I believe in is you have to start this process with your team on a one-on-one basis. Now, why would you want one-on-ones when you can just go into a room collectively and just chat and say what the heck you want? I'm the coach, you listen to me. Hey guys and girls, this is my strategy. Let's rock and roll, let's go. If you use the shotgun approach where they're my team, I say what I want, I do what I want. Yes, you're in charge and it feels autonomous and you feel in charge. However, the fact is you're going to see three reactions. You're going to see as they walk out, some are indifferent. Then you're going to see some walk out negative, making little chants and chirps behind the closed doors. And then you're going to see some that hung on every word you said and were quite positive. You're going to get these three reactions. Now, how do you take those three reactions and actually curb them into mostly positive with a few that have a couple of queries, not a million counter arguments? Remember, if you're going to walk into a room and just give the approach that you want without speaking to anybody, you're going to have 100 counter arguments. You might have 15, 20 questions that can turn into negative debates, and it'll be a disaster. Now, I am not saying to you to be a politician, to try and put people in a corner, to make them do what you want in a meeting. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you want the type of connection when the person, the player feels, the athlete feels, that I know what this plan is about, I know what this human being is about, and I'll die for this coach. Now, the only way to do that is one-on-one, and the only way to do that one-on-one, believe me, at all levels, is to have a framework that you can work through that gives guaranteed results. So there is a model, and there are many coaching models. One is called the GROW model, G-R-O-W. Now, what this model gives you, it gives you a step-by-step account of how to run a one-on-one meeting so that there is a beginning, middle, and end, and the athlete walks away and you walk away with a concrete plan of who's going to commit to doing what, and you end up having success with that individual, which means your team has success. You know what I'm saying? It's not about you feeling successful. It's about them feeling that they want to be successful with you. Now, that sounds cliched, but I promise you it works. So, number one, remember, coaching as a methodology is a collaborative thing. It's not about I speak, you listen. It's about I speak and tell you my perception of things, your game, your style, your personality, and how things are going. The athlete tells you their perception of those same things, how they feel things are going, what their goals are, how they perceive the environment, and you as a coach. And together you walk a collaborative pathway to create an end destination that they reach all their potential, and they reach the potential for their team and actually help you to be successful. So let's go back to the GROW model. So if you've got this collaborative approach, this is how it's going to work. G stands for goal. So you get the person in, they sit down in front of you, right? And what you do is you say, hey, so-and-so, this is the goal of today's meeting. The goal of today's meeting is to give you clarity for the rest of the season and to give you a framework on how we're going to work. The second goal of the meeting is to make you the best player in your position that it's possible to be. And shortly, I'd like to hear from you what your goals are for the season, but that's how I see it for you. Second is there are some basic realities surrounding your game, your style of play, your strengths and weaknesses, and things that you could work on. And I'd like to hear from you what you think those things are, because I have perceptions on what the realities of your game are. And then you're going to move on to, once you've spoken and they've spoken, you'll move on to the options. What are the options to create the situation where they can achieve the goals that you've both agreed upon? The options you can do to create the realities of what they need to work on to transform their game. And then the options of how you're going to reconnect with them. At the end, you have what we call the who or the what. That's the W of the GROW, so it's G-R-O-W. The who or the what is who and what. Who is going to commit to what to make sure that we have a successful outcome. So, for example, what are the two things I'll commit to walking out of the meeting? One will be to write down their value system. One would be for them to write down more of their goals. And one would be for them to get a technical grip of certain aspects of the game, to go see a certain coach and actually train with them to up that technical part of the game. So that's the W. Who and what will they commit to? So, and then the coach will say, I also commit to something. I commit to following up with you once a week. I commit to chatting to the coach that helps you improve that skill. And I commit to making sure that we give you the valuable feedback to help you attain your goals. So that grow model it's not a random thing. You walk in, you speak for hours, you bore the athlete, and it's not super short where you've got nothing to say. It's really it's something that's got substance, that's effective. The athlete goes, wow, this person's thought about my goals for the season. They thought about my strengths and weaknesses. They thought about what's important to me. And I think that is really clear. So it's almost an informal meeting. You don't make it formal. You don't make it stuffy. You've got a nice environment, a place where they can feel comfortable to speak to you. And you lay out this methodology. If you get everybody on board in this way, you're going to do fantastically well. What I would say to you as well is have a little iPad or a laptop, or even notes if you've got a good handwriting, and just as you go say, I just want to make a note of that, and you make small notes, because I think that's really important. Now, we're not going to go into how you get more information out of them, how you become a better listener as a coach. Those things we'll cover later. But if you go with this grow framework, I can tell you it will be the single most powerful thing that influences you. Just briefly on the flip side, you could use that grow model negatively by default and say, the goal of today is to tell you that you are absolutely not performing the way I want you to, and I'm not happy with you. The reality of the situation is you're very, very close to being dropped. My options are to get you out of the team and get a new player in, or to shout at you, to put the fear of God in you to play for me. And at the who and what at the end, the who and what is, I'm going to decide whether I want to keep you or not. That's the end of the who and what. Now, that does not help anybody. So you can see there's a positive and negative effect to the grow model. So the grow model is a dual carriageway conversation where you create the environment that they feel connected to you. Now, I'm telling you, go out and try this. You'll be astounded at the results it will yield for you. Leave comments for me below and get in touch with me on social media. Let me know what you think of this approach. I think it's going to yield such powerful results for you. I look forward to hearing how it went for you. Remember, catch me on social media, on Twitter, Omar Defense, and then Omar Monami on Instagram, and have a look at my YouTube channel. It's just under Omar Monami. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.